Hi, welcome to Kingdom Business. It is another Monday. Okay, I'm Pastor Caleb, your host, and today we are looking at a very exciting subject: managers and workers. Managers and workers. Okay, before we go into today's topic, I want us to review 5 points from last week's lesson. Last week, we looked at the subject, I'm about my father's business. I am about my father's business. Here are some of the points to remember from last week. Number 1, every human being created by God has a purpose. In order for you to find your purpose, you have to make God's business your business. Your purpose is not outside God's plan and programs. So it's only when you associate with God and His business and make it your business that you become familiar with what your real purpose is in life. Number 2, God cannot bless you outside of your calling. Okay, your calling is your purpose, the work for which God allowed you to be on earth. Everything you need for you to fulfill your calling, God has provided. If you're having challenges fulfilling your calling, if you're having challenges fulfilling your purpose, it could be that you are outside of your calling. Maybe what you are doing is not God's will for your life. Okay, because all your blessings are in your calling. Now, it doesn't mean that it shall not get hard for you when you're doing your calling. It just means that no matter how hard it gets, when you are in your calling, there's always a way out, there's always provision, there's always grace for you to overcome. Point number 3 we looked at is that God created you to be profitable to Him. Once you are no longer profitable to God and other men, you become dispensable. In other words, you were created for you to serve God and to serve men. You were not created for yourself. So in your life, you are supposed to be a source of blessing to fellow men, and you are supposed to be profitable to God. Enhance His agenda and push forward His programs. Point number 4, being about your father's business doesn't mean that you have to be a pastor, a preacher, or restrict yourself to church work. There's a lot of God's business that is outside the church. God needs people to represent Him everywhere. He needs people to represent Him in the corridors of power. He needs people to represent Him in parliament, in cabinet, in chiefs' houses, in kings' palaces. He needs people to represent Him in the armies, everywhere where there is a human being. God has an agenda there, God has a plan there, and He needs people who are going to push forward His agenda. The last point, number 5, we looked at last week is you should represent God in whatever position you are. Many people want to do things for God, but they postponed because they are waiting for what they call the right opportunity. Right now, I don't have anything, I cannot represent God. Right now, I'm poor, I cannot represent God. Right now, I'm just a maid, I cannot represent God. But your position doesn't matter. What matters is where you are. Okay? Whatever position you are, no matter how high or no matter how low, you need to represent God. Okay? Joseph started representing God in his own house. Okay? When they just used to send him around. Okay? When he was a slave, he still represented God. Okay? Very well. When he was a prisoner, he still represented God. And until he became governor, he was representing God. Okay? So in whatever position you are, David was not part of the army, but when he found Goliath insulting God's people, he got upset. He didn't get upset because because Goliath was insulting his brothers who were part of the army. He got upset because Goliath was insulting God. That's why I said, how can you say such things against the Lord? I'm going to come against you. So even at that point, when he had no position, he was representing God. Okay, so those are the main points from last week. Now today, back to our subject, managers and workers. In life, you are either a manager or a worker. You are either a leader or a follower. You are either a giver or a receiver. You are either above or below. Either you are a decision maker or decisions are made for you. Okay, so we are going to look at the difference between managers and workers and then see what we can learn from there. Okay, the word manager is synonymous with words such as supervisor, boss, director, executive, administrator, and so on and so forth. But today I want you to simplify it and simply look at the simple word caretaker. Caretaker. Look at the word manager as caretaker. Okay, so in our first episode I told you that God had appointed man as a manager over the earth. He put man in charge, but man messed up and was fired from his work and chased from the Garden of Eden. Today I want to tell you the difference between managers and workers. Okay, for you to know how to handle your position as caretaker or manager on the earth. Two things that are important. Okay, number one, God does not interfere in the affairs of men without man's permission. God does not interfere with the affairs of man without man's permission. That's why he invites us to pray. He invites us to pray. Okay, when you are praying, you are inviting God to interfere with earth's affairs through you. So if you want anything to happen on the earth, you have to talk to God about it so that he intervenes. If you don't talk to him, you don't pray to him, he will do nothing. Unless there is a man who is willing for God to use them, God won't do anything on the earth. Psalms 115 verse 16, the Bible says, even the heavens are the Lord's, but the earth hath he given to the children of men. Okay, so all authority over the earth God has given to men. Even Jesus, after he finished his mission, he left authority to the apostles. Okay, so God works through men when he wants to do anything on the earth. That's why he gave us power to tread on serpents, scorpions, and over all the power of the evil one, and he told us to preach the gospel. So until and unless you invite God in your situation, he will not get involved. That is why he invites us to pray. He can cause the sun to stand still for you like Joshua if you invite him. He can part the Red Sea for you like he did for Moses if you invite him. He can miraculously get you out of debt if you invite him, okay? But he cannot do nothing without your invitation, okay? Without your invitation. Okay, another interesting verse that I want us to read is Matthew 25:14 to 15, okay? The Bible says, "For the kingdom of heaven is like a man traveling into a far country." Mark that word, far country. "Who called his own servants and delivered unto them his goods. And unto one he gave 5 talents, to another 2 talents, and to another 1, to every man according to his several ability, and straightway took his journey." And straightway took his journey. That is Matthew 25 verse 14 to 15. Now notice, immediately this man gave his servants the talents. The Bible says he went to his journey. He went to a far country. He was traveling to a far country. So he left them the talents. To one he gave 5, the other one he gave 2, the other one he gave 1. Okay, so after he gave them, he went to a far country, which means that now it was up to them to use those resources in a way that they could increase and multiply it. Okay, you must understand that God has left you in charge of everything under your care right now. Everything that is under your care, God has left you in charge. What you have to do is increase it and multiply it, okay? That is the instruction that was given to Adam, and that is our instruction today, to increase. When we say to increase, we mean to produce. To increase means to produce. So with the resources that God has given you, He wants you to produce something. With the resources that God has given you, He wants you to produce something, okay? To multiply means to reproduce, okay? Means to reproduce. That thing which you've produced, okay, reproduce it again, okay, so that the number increases. Reproduce it again. You need to be able to replicate it, okay? Today you can bake a nice cake. Somebody buys from you, okay? If they come tomorrow, they find no cake, which means even though that cake was the best, it is out of circulation, it is nothing to be talked about. No matter how that person who bought from you talks about how nice the cake was, as long as it is no longer in circulation, it cannot make you rich. Okay? You cannot increase anything. For you to increase, you need to produce, then begin to reproduce that thing which is bringing you profit. Okay? In other words, you need to be able to maintain your service and your products, okay? The same quality, better than before all the time, for you to remain in business, okay? Someone might say, but Pastor, I have nothing, okay? I don't have capital, I don't have where to start from, okay? You must understand that for you to do business, you don't need money. What you need is an idea. What is important is what business do you want to do. Once you find out what business you have to do, you have to look at yourself now. You have to look at yourself and ask yourself the question, what can I do to get money? What can I do to get money? There is a service you can do. There are some works you can do, which if you do them, people will be able to give you money, okay? For those services, okay? If you go and clean the lawn of someone's house, you slash their grass, you put their flowers properly, they can give you money for that. If you go to a person and wash clothes for them, you ask for a job for washing or for cleaning the house, they can give you money, okay? If you are an artist, you've got the talent of drawing, you can draw you can paint something and then sell that to make money. So what is important in life is to know that you have to use what you have to get what you want, so that you are able to do the thing that you are planning to do. So the idea in your head should be your motivation. Okay, your idea in the head should be your motivation for you to raise the capital. Should be motivation for you to raise the capital that you need for you to do your business. Okay, so the little that you have, God wants you to work with it. Okay, if you put in hard work and faith, you will definitely produce results. Okay, you will definitely produce results. There is no one who is going to make a decision on your behalf. No one who is going to make a decision on your behalf on what you are supposed to do, okay? If you do nothing, you will remain a nobody. If you do something, you can change your life from where you are to where you are supposed to be. Most of the people today are where they are today because of the aggregation of their thinking, their thoughts, and their actions, okay, in the past, okay? Adam was fired because he had no real reason to defend himself. He couldn't defend himself for what he did. He just gave an excuse and said, the reason why I did this is because of the woman you gave me. He gave an excuse. He refused to accept responsibility. So if you are looking for someone else to kickstart you, then that person fails to kickstart you. Okay, you cannot blame them. That excuse cannot be accepted by heaven. You cannot blame someone and say, I failed to do this because this person failed to give me money. Okay? God is the owner of your dream, and He is the one who is going to provide. He knows what He put in you, and He knows you've got the potential to make something out of nothing. Something out of nothing is an idea. You need an idea that will get you what you want, okay? That will get you what you want, okay? So what I'm saying is that God does not accept excuses. You cannot blame someone for failing to do your duty, okay? So when we talk about managers, the first thing that a manager should know that he's supposed to do is to make things happen. Point number one, managers make things happen, okay? While ordinary workers give excuses. Managers make things happen while ordinary workers give excuses. Point number two about a manager is that managers know the mind and vision of the owner of the business while workers do not. Managers know the mind and the vision of the owner of the business while workers do not. Point number three, managers know why they are doing what they are doing, but workers only know what they are doing. Okay? I want you to get this point clearly. Managers know why. Why am I doing this? Why does this have to be done like this? Why do we have to put there? Workers don't know why. They just don't know what. So the good question is like, why do we have to leave these things here? Why can't we put them in that room? Why do we have to do it like this? Why can't we do it like this? Because they don't know the why. Okay? Managers work smartly. They work with systems. While workers work hard. While workers work hard. Okay? In other words, in a lot of managers, there is a lot of systematic work that is done. They work with systems, putting things in place to make sure that there is a lot of automation. Okay, things have to be done in a way that needs the least supervision, while workers put in a lot of physical effort to do their work. Okay, to do their work. Okay, number five, managers see the long term. Okay, they see things in the long term, while workers see the short term. Managers will be thinking like things like in a year's time, 2 years time, how many branches are we going to have? Okay, what will be our production rate? Okay, what will be our expenses be? What are the income? They look at projections, they look at long term. Workers will be thinking about things like, okay, so if I work here for 2 years, okay, I'll be able to get money so that I can go back to school. Okay, if I work here for a year, I'll raise enough money to start my own business. Okay, so their thinking is short term. Okay, workers, their thinking is short term, while managers think long term. Okay, now point number six, managers understand their environment, while workers' understanding is limited to their work. So the workers' understanding is limited to what they do. Okay, their daily routine, their duties, what they should not do. That is where their understanding is limited to the actual work that they do. But managers understand their environment. They know, for example, that how many competitors do we have in this place, okay? How many organizations or people are there that we can partner with? Those are the things that managers look at, okay? They look at the environment within and the environment without, okay? They understand the environment. Point number seven, managers are motivated by results, while workers are motivated by money, okay? Managers are motivated by results, while workers are motivated by money. So when a manager wants to get results, he doesn't care about the money. So he can tell you to work extra hours and he'll be able to give you overtime. He can give you extra money for you to work overtime because he's trying to meet a target, okay? While workers, they are interested in money. So even if they are told to work extra hours, as long as there's money, no problem. Okay, they'll be able to do that. Okay, managers are loyal to their organizations, while workers are loyal to money. Workers are loyal to money. So managers are loyal to their organization. They know that what they do in that organization, the success they'll bring to it, that will be their resume. Okay, that will be part of their CV. It will be part of their success story. They know that the success of this organization is my success, okay? While workers are loyal to money. Once They feel that the money is little, they can go somewhere. Once the company begins to struggle and they cannot pay, okay, as the workers' demands are, those workers will go. They are loyal to money. Workers are loyal to money. Point number 9. Managers defend the name and reputation of their bosses, their organization, while workers usually complain and say bad things about their bosses and organizations. Managers protect the reputation of the organization because they know they are the ones in charge. So if the organization has a bad reputation, even them, they will have a bad reputation. So they will defend the reputation of the organization at all costs, okay? While workers are usually complaining about their bosses, about their organization, they complain to their family, they complain to their friends. It is not uncommon for you to find somebody complaining about their work to others, okay? Point number 10, managers are decision makers while workers wait to be told what to do. Managers are decision makers while workers will wait to be told what to do. I'll give you a simple example. As a parent, for example, when you leave home and you tell your children, I want you to clean up, to iron the clothes, to do all these things, ABCD, okay? Most of the time, sometimes when you come back, you find that certain things have not been done. For example, you find that they haven't done the ironing, okay? They haven't ironed the clothes. So you can ask, why haven't you ironed the clothes? I didn't see the iron. I looked for it, I didn't see it. And then when you find it, you find that it is in a place which is easy for them to find, okay? Okay? Yeah, okay? So that is one of the difference, okay, between managers and workers. Workers, okay, they wait for decisions to be done for them. So if they don't find something, they wait for the boss. Even something that they can easily find, they wait for the boss. I didn't sweep because I didn't see the broom. They won't make the decision to look for the broom until they find it. They won't make the decision to get money from the till and buy the broom so that they do your instruction. Those things are rarely done by workers, okay, because they follow instructions, okay. So managers are able to make decisions, okay. Okay, they're able to make decisions while workers wait usually to be told what to do. Point number 11. Point number 11, managers see the full picture, okay, while workers see only part of it. In other words, the vision of a manager is broad. He's able to see the full picture of everything, okay, while workers see only part of it. For example, okay, regards expenses, the worker will be able to see that, today we've made a lot of money. Today we've made a lot of money because they're able to see the money coming, customers buying, okay, and the things that are coming out of the shop or whatever, or the store, the things that you're selling, the orders that people are making. They are able to see that, but they don't know how much rentals are paid. They don't know how many people the organization or the company owes. They don't know how much is supposed to be paid to suppliers. They don't know the statutory obligations, whether you've met them. So their interpretation of that money, okay, in relation to expenses, they don't know. They don't even know, okay, whether the company has broken even or the company is making profit, okay. Point number 12, the last one for today. Managers appreciate the trust they have been given while workers think that they are doing the organization a favor. Okay, so managers usually, when they are given an opportunity, they tend, okay, they tend to appreciate the trust they are given and they make the best use of it, okay, so that they can increase the trust, okay, they can increase their trust levels so that the people who've given them the opportunity trust them more. While most workers think that they are doing the organization a favor. At first, when the worker begins to work, they usually appreciate, okay, but it's usually not long-lasting. Workers don't have a long-lasting appreciation of the job they are given. They ultimately begin to think that they are doing you a favor, okay, especially as days go on and you give more and more instructions, Okay, so that exercising of dominion over them is the one that makes them to recluse in a position of defense. Okay, like they're doing you a favor and you are giving them too many things to do. Okay, so as we end today's topic, I want you to remember one thing. If you want to be a good manager, you have to learn to remain loyal. You have to remember to remain loyal to your boss. Loyal to your boss. Okay, those 3 servants that were given talents, the 2 of them remained loyal because they were loyal. They were able to do something with the money, and when the boss came, he was happy with what they'd done. The other one who got 1 talent, he buried it and he tried to put the blame on the boss. Okay, he tried to put the blame on the boss. He was not loyal. Okay, he was not loyal to the boss. So it is loyalty to your boss, loyalty to your organization that makes you a good manager. Loyalty is what makes you a good manager. You have to be loyal. Okay, that is our takeaway for today, loyalty. Okay, we end here for now. I pray that the Lord will bless the works of your hand. I pray that the Lord will give you new ideas, that whatever you've learned from today's session is something that is going to bring impact and change in your life. Okay, whatever obstacles you are facing, know that God is able to make a way out for you. God is able to give you the victory. Your problem, your challenge, your obstacle might seem big, but I want you to know that the one in you is greater than the one who is in the world. I know that you are going to overcome, okay? You are going to overcome, okay? I'm signing out now, okay, from Kingdom Business. If you want clarifications, questions, more explanation about these topics, because I give them in summary, you can get more of it, okay? More of it in the group, okay? So if you want to be part of those groups where we discuss if you want to be part of the group where we discuss Kingdom Business, feel free to inbox me, send me your number, and I'll add you to the group. Bye for now. Shalom.